Welcome to episode 56 of the OVW Fanzone Live. This is where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm your only friend. I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend. But really, I'm not actually your friend, but I am Brian Hines, and we are here in the OVW Fanzone, the Blue Canary in the Outlet by the Light Switch, which is your place to talk back every Wednesday at 7.
Oh, I love it. I love it. First off,
that's a little They Might Be Giants.
Okay, that answers the question.
Yeah.
I was like,
big fan
Muppets, Sesame Street, what was it from? But no, They Might Be Giants.
It's They Might Be Giants. Brand new album for 1990, Flood.
I don't have a great working knowledge of They Might Be Giants.
Oh, we should fix that.
Maybe. I've liked what I've heard. They're pretty good. We already heard Tiny Brian back there. Tiny Brian.
Hello.
He is our producer. He is in the chat as at OVW Podcast. He'll be chatting along with you and collecting all of your questions and comments and interesting observations over the course of the next hour or so. Collecting dust. And we will be, of course, sifting through all of your all the goings-ons in the chat. In our final segment of the show. That is truly where fans get to talk back.
It is a lively chat so far. We've got Roy Bischoff. Happy birthday.
Oh, hey. Happy birthday, Roy.
Your friend Chase.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Chase.
Let's see. We've got Becky. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Katie.
No. No, there is a name here I don't want to butcher. But the storm is coming, apparently.
What's it start with?
N.
Hello,
Is it Noel?
No. Noel is also here. But
is it Nolan?
No.
That's just in names?
Yeah.
Nick?
No, that's my brother, and he's not here either.
Oh, I didn't know that was your brother's name.
Yeah.
Nick and Brian. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a good combo.
Anyway.
Thank you guys in the chat. As I was saying, get all of your thoughts in the chat over the course of the next hour, and Tiny Brian and Brian Hines and I will disseminate them as we go. So we have quite a few places where people can catch the OVW Superstars over the course of the coming months. The OVW Summer Tour, one of the most exciting parts of the summer here in the Bluegrass State and elsewhere. They're even in the Buckeye State, I see, and
and Indiana,
the Hoosier State.
Yeah. This Friday they're in LaPorte, which is not in your notes, but we should probably mention it as we did on the podcast.
That's a deduction.
So, Brian Hines, where can we catch the OVW Superstars?
You can catch the OVW Superstars every Thursday at Hot Point Davis Arena when you get to see Rise.
That's
4400 Shepherdsville Road. Actually, you can see Rise and Overdrive both nights. Both shows one night.
Come early, leave early.
Yep.
I was going to say come early, stay late, but
Mr. Joe won't have that.
Yeah, Mr. Joe's not going to have that.
No.
He'll start to ask you to leave more forcefully all the time.
Yeah. We also have this Saturday, we've got Hard Reset, Hot Point Davis Arena, June 14th. Mm-hmm. We've got a free all ages show.
We still have another episode of television before the pay-per-view.
I know, I'm excited. We've got a free all ages show at Element Eatery in Cincinnati, Ohio on June 28th. Our favorite shows of the year are at the Manchester Music Hall. You can catch the next one on July 5th. The following Saturday at Courtesy Acura here in Lexington. I believe that is an outdoor show. And we have Independence Rage at Hot Point Davis Arena on July 26th. You can get tickets to any and all of these events at OVWTix.com.
So we do love the Manchester Music Hall show. It is like a half a mile away from where we record this podcast. It's a great show. If you guys haven't been to Lexington, you want to hit one of these tour stops, this is the one to do, in our opinion at least. They're all great. They're all going to be fun, but we love the Manchester Music Hall show. A little bit of something, too, that might interest OVW fans who might be interested in making the trip. Lexington will have a huge tattoo convention.
That's
that
right.
Weekend.
Yeah, my cousin, the band that is going to be in town, and going to be checking that out.
Oh, right on. Sweet.
Really excited.
Huge tattoo convention in Lexington, July 4th weekend, Manchester Music Hall. If you've been curious to come down to Lexington, if you've been curious to go out and see one of these shows, Lexington's the place to be that weekend, just saying.
I'm going to let you finish, but I got to say, we see you, Ito Kazako. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Ito. Ito's in the chat.
Wow, good to see you.
Yeah, we love Ito, man. Ito, get us some good questions, Ito. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to all the fans, but we want to talk to you. It's been too long. Been too long, Ito.
Yes, that's right. Noel Summit, Friday the 13th with tattoos. No, it's in July when both the tattoo thing and the show here in Lexington.
Yes, that's
is, so.
3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
That whole holiday weekend. But Friday the 13th is when they're going to be in LaPorte, Indiana.
I might get a tattoo on Friday the 13th because usually tattoos are cheap on Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is
At
that?
least in Lexington. I don't know. Just a thing that they do.
Weird. I like to play the NES game, the original Nintendo game, Friday the 13th, on Friday the 13th.
You know who probably is more excited than anybody about Friday the 13th being around the corner?
Who's that?
The Only Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Big horror movie fans over there.
Yeah.
In the form of Star Player Prime and Boy Toy Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet they'll be getting together and watching all the Friday the 13th movies.
I would not be surprised.
So apparently an OVW TV that is not my son is in the chat room tonight.
Hello, OVW TV.
Hello.
Turns out Malachi can actually chat as OVW TV because of what we're doing to stream it. And I'm like, don't be doing that. he may or may not have actually chatted as OVW TV in the past on different shows. But
This one ain't me.
that one's not. Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Stop
No.
it. And he's like, it's not me.
No, it's the real OVW TV. Thanks for joining us tonight, whoever's on the other side of that line. All right, so we got a big show ahead of us.
And a couple big shows this week to talk about.
And a couple big shows this week to talk about. We will take a break really quick. We're going to jump into we're going to recap last week. We're going to break down the coming week. And then, of course, final segment, as always, is where the fans get to talk back. So, my name is Jackman Oaks for the OVW Fanzone Live. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, to all my friends at the OVW podcast, congratulations on 100 episodes. You guys have been killing it from the beginning. So I'm proud to say that not only have I been a part of the show, but I'm friends with you guys, and I really love what you're doing. And would I lie to you? Because, I am a really good guy, right? Hope y'all have another 100, 200, 300 episodes. Keep it going, but don't ever forget what made you unofficial. Y'all have a good one.
I'm Debbie. I'm in the OVW Fanzone.
You. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
I'm Keith, and I'm in the OVW Fanzone.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Welcome back, OVW Fanzone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm B. Hines.
And we are going to delve into, I guess, our predictions from last week. Heck of a show last week. I do want to say that.
Yeah, maybe my favorite one ever so far.
Wait,
So-
did you say predictions?
That's my line, and it's not time for it yet. Don't do that.
I think Malachi should say.
I second that.
Well, no. I want Tiny Brian to say it. People like his
What are you guys doing back there?
I-
Are you guys playing Twister? Like Jack Vaughn? And
Look, I played
Donovan
Twister
Cecil.
just getting my big ass out of bed.
okay, that's fair.
All right. So, what do we got from last week, Tiny Brian?
Let's see. Let's get into our review phase here. Hang on. Let me move my screens around. There we go. All right, so last week we talked about the match between Freya the Slayer and Rachel Leigh. The two of you wisely predicted Freya the Slayer would come out victorious in that. Congratulations.
Freya played that match so smart from the beginning of the
She really did.
Really, really smart stuff. No one is going to be able to stand in the way of Freya and her getting to Sophia. I mean, and Rachel Leigh just happened to be the person standing in the way, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately for her.
Let's see. Let's move on to our triple threat Rush Division match, which saw Icon Lee and the Obsidian Angel take on not Cody Carter, as Colby Carter was originally predicted, but what was that gentleman's name? Heim. Yeah, John Heimball, whatever, but he lost. Brian, you correctly predicted an iconic win by one Mr. Icon Lee. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, I don't think a big surprise that one of Star Rider's two goons walked away with the victory here. But impressive showing from Heim. Honestly, would like to see more
for being thrown into a match like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
in over his head.
In over his head, very impressive stuff from him. Just wasn't his night, unfortunately.
No. Then we had...
it was Thomas Heim, by the way.
Thomas Heim, thank you.
That's a deduction.
I thought it was Tim, so I was close.
You were?
You were close, somewhat.
Then we get Cal Hero versus Tony Evans? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that was the billing. We talked about it during the podcast, which you can see at 8 o'clock on our YouTube channel.
8:05.
How strange that booking really is.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Brian, you had for Cal Hero. Jackman took for Tony Evans. Did we? Yeah, we had Cal Hero won that match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, standing ovation.
That's
standing
right.
O.
Standing O. So good job, Brian. Then we had Drew Hernandez, the other half of that Tony Evans, Drew Hernandez pairings now, taking on Big Zoe. And Brian, you once again, or Jackman, you at this point correctly predicted that Drew Hernandez would take home that win against Big Zoe.
Heartbreaker.
But a fun match to watch, even
was.
if it wasn't the result we wanted.
Yeah, not something that I relished in saying, but Drew Hernandez is on a tear right now. I mean, back in the promotion, big gig with Tony Evans, big paycheck. Life's good for Drew Hernandez right now.
Yeah, maybe the trifecta can take him to Men's Warehouse for heels.
You know, because
they look sharp.
They could maybe in the heel, locker room, say, oh, hey, Drew, let's go get fitted.
Drew does sort of dress like he's at a Circuit City in 1999. He makes me want to go get a PS2.
PS1.
PS1. Well, whatever. Yeah, he looks like he's an electronics store, the tucked-in collared shirt. It's like, come on, guys.
Hello and welcome to Radio Shack.
Yes, that.
No, but he's got the money coming in from Tony Evans now, so.
Are the checks clearing?
That remains to be seen.
I guess
time
will tell.
We know that Tony maybe isn't very quick to pay up sometimes.
Yeah.
He's a slow pay. He's a net 90.
He got tiny little arms and deep, deep pockets. That's what I heard about Tony Evans. Tiny little arms and deep, deep pockets.
So the Dustin Jackson-Anthony Katina match did not happen. Instead, we got the Battle of the Anthonys.
Yeah,
which
we
was
heard
a
that
banger of a match.
Top of the hour, Eric Cornish informed the OVW audience that Dustin Jackson was injured and would have to forfeit the Country Boy Media Championship.
It's a true shame, honestly.
It was.
Dustin Jackson has had a wonderful run with the media championship, the media title. Kind of a shame that he didn't get to defend it here. But Anthony Katina is our new media champion. The trifecta all have belts.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackman, you predicted it.
Well, Katina, I think between Dustin, coming out of the previous week's episode, injured, getting beat up, he just was in a precarious spot there.
Yeah.
And Katina is smart.
Katina was coming in hot.
And Katina, comes not only coming in hot, comes with friends.
Yeah, that always helps.
So.
And finally, we have our women's division tag team match with lovely Miss Larkin and the OVW Women's Champion Sophia Rose taking on Angelica Risk and Maddie, the American Baddie. Probably my favorite match of the evening here. I loved this tag team. I thought this was a pretty great match. Brian, you did... Yeah, they got the win. You correctly predicted that Larkin and Rose would come away with the win there.
Mm-hmm.
So
something I would like to say about that match is, and we've talked a lot on this show about lovely Miss Larkin and what a star she is. She comes out in tag team champion, or in a tag team match with the women's champion, right?
Yes.
She still gets her own interest.
Yeah.
That's a star. That's a star.
Yeah. Last week, if I remember right, you were talking about how she would be psychologically after being stabbed with her own invisible knife in the middle of the ring in front of the Davis Arena audience.
I thought that
suspecting that might be even more trauma for the trauma train.
And it turned out that, she's obviously not happy about getting stabbed with the invisible knife.
No, who would be?
But she has the Band-Aid over it marked knife wound.
Yeah.
So
not an invisible bandage either.
No, a very large bandage.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime that you're in a tag team with the women's champion and you're still getting your own entrance,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
That's
a
something.
big deal. So,
all right,
that's it from last week.
I think that's everything we have from last week. So, without further ado, let's get into the most electrifying. Where are you going?
Predictions.
Okay, you did it, but
still
no.
See, the problem with that, son, is you've got to make the word predictions last as long as the 5-second graphic that says predictions.
You really don't.
Show him how it's done, Tiny Brian.
Don't encourage him.
The chat likes it. We gotta give the
Could you stop it and let it play or not? Predictions. My timing was way
Are we
off
done
there.
here?
Yeah, we're done.
Are you sure?
I'm not doing it again. My voice is
I
fried.
thought people liked it, but now after this week, I'm not sure. Might have lost some fans.
We'll make some notes.
Let us know in the chat if you still like the predictions sound. Okay, what we got, Tiny Brian? What we got?
Kind of a weird mixed bag. We got to talk about predictions. We're going to talk maybe about Hard Reset as well.
Okay.
Because we don't have a lot going forward for here. The first thing we have is the promise of a major announcement at the top of Rise tomorrow, affecting not only Hard Reset, but OVW generally.
Oh. Yeah, they're moving to England. Yeah, they're moving to Wales. Oh, that's what.
Don't start that rumor again.
No.
It's the only thing it could be. You heard it here first, guys.
No, well,
I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course.
Well, the cat's out of the bag about Cal's partner.
That's true, yeah.
We do know that is badass Billy Gunn, one time, or what is he now?
Daddy
Scissor
ass.
Bacon?
Daddy
Not
ass.
Scissor. Wait, what?
Scissor Bacon.
Okay.
So Daddy ass.
And I'm going to go ahead and give you a preview of next week's show. Oh, my God, he looks incredible.
Yeah.
He's like 60 years old. He looks incredible.
And he can still go.
Yeah. I think it's so funny. We can't, like, in the year 2025, you cannot bring up Billy Gunn when you're covering wrestling without saying, "Oh my gosh, you know he's 60 years old. He can still go. He looks incredible."
He does.
I mean, he does. All of those things are true. It's just like obligatory. We have to say those things, right? I'm sorry, Tiny Brian.
No, he's the Tom Brady of professional wrestling.
I like him more than Tom Brady.
Sure, but Tom Brady does kind of have that, why is this man still doing this after all this time? How is he still in this good a shape?
For the love of the game.
I don't care how many Super Bowls you win when you fumbled the bag on Giselle, okay? Tom Brady, no-go in my book. Fumbled the bag on Giselle, that's a no-go.
File under B for burn?
Yep. How are you going to fumble the bag with Giselle? Come on, man.
So any thoughts on what this major announcement might be? It's a major award.
Do we have so there's no indication on who's making this announcement, anything like that?
Do we think it's David Voxmelon?
He didn't. Usually if he's going to make an announcement,
he'll announce that he's going to make an announcement.
He will tag us in a thing on Instagram saying it so we know.
Okay.
No, and David Voxmelon is his normal weirdly comedy posting self with nothing about wrestling this week.
All right. Well, so he's probably out then.
So this sounds like
I haven't the foggiest.
maybe an Al Snow announcement.
That would be my guess.
I would love it if it were like an expansion of television.
You know, I actually was about to say the same thing. Just a huge guess.
We love big swings. We don't know anything
I
from
don't
anybody.
know. I don't know anything.
Not one of us knows anything.
I was literally just about to say, as my co-host said it, I think it might be something related to television distribution. Just a guess.
That's me predicting with my heart, not necessarily my head.
My heart will predict with your heart. Let's all predict our hearts because a national television deal, folks, would be life-changing for OVW. Be a big expansion. We'd have a whole lot of more fans coming in here to get to know and be friends with, and it would just be great all the way around.
I wonder if it would have anything to do with possibly AEW, since Billy Gunn is going to be on this Thursday's episode, correct?
He will be there Thursday. He'll
and
be at the
Saturday
show
as well.
and he'll be at the
Friday.
show in Indiana
Yeah.
Friday the 13th as well. So
Are we going on Saturday?
yeah, I'm planning to go.
Yeah, we need to go. I want to.
I'm kind of planning to go tomorrow.
What is tomorrow?
Thursday all day.
The
That's when
12th.
they have
No,
live.
no, you can't because you're going to a movie tomorrow. Let me remind.
Oh, okay.
Let me remind you of your own plans.
I'm sorry.
You're going to see How to Train Your Dragon tomorrow. Okay.
It is my son's absolute favorite. It is his Star Wars. It is his.
Well, we know who
That's
he is. You can just
deduction.
say his name, Malachi.
His name's Malachi. Yeah.
It'd be funny if you had a different son that we never talked about.
Here's William. William
So-
Woodard. We don't like him as much. No, that's not true, guys. I only have the one kid.
That you know of.
That I
You
know
got to
of.
say it. You always that's because that's such a really cool and classy thing to say, and you always have to say it. Is anytime you talk about kids, you always have to say, "I only have one that I know of."
That's a dad joke.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a maybe I'm a dad joke.
That's a classy thing. That's a
Okay,
great
that's fair.
response to
Yeah.
have. Being a deadbeat is classy. Okay. What so with back to the question at hand. I know nothing. We know nothing. We've established this
we're
100
just here
times.
guessing.
We've established this 102 times over on our podcast. We all know nothing.
That's correct.
To speak to your point though, Tiny Brian, this would be life changing. This is striking oil. This is generational wealth. You know, in terms of putting it in layman's terms, this is a big deal if that's what it is. But I have no idea.
No. So I'll be waiting to tune in anxiously with bated breath.
With bated eyes. All right. Let's see. What else do we have for tomorrow? Like I said, pretty skinny as far as predictions for this week. We have, and this is weird.
Does that mean we won't hear you say the thing next week?
I mean,
Probably not.
maybe not. Yes. So we have a Rush Division Championship ladder match tomorrow. Now, this had originally been announced for Hard Reset, and now it has moved to Thursday night instead. So, what do you guys think about that? And who do you got? Who do you think? You've been seeing a lot of these Rush Division guys in these showcase matches. Who's looked good?
So, as far as it being moved from Hard Reset to be on television, means Hard Reset's got to be packed.
Yeah. And
Like,
this is like overflow.
What's a Rush Division? What is a pay-per-view at OVW without a Rush Division ladder match? I mean,
Or some sort of 6 or 8 or
Yeah.
10-man scramble or something.
no, I mean this is a hallmark. This is a staple
Yeah.
of the Saturday Night Special, right? So that means the pay-per-view is going to be absolutely packed. First observation. Second observation, I'm liking JJ Lawson. I'm liking JJ Lawson here. I think he's going to come in and steal the show if he's available, all that stuff,
And healthy.
and all that stuff. But if he's in the match, this is his playground. This is the type of stuff that JJ Lawson, when he started his journey as a professional wrestler, said, this is what I want to do. These are the matches that I want to be in. These are the matches that I want to win.
And the last time we all went together and we saw the Rush Division collectively, everybody had their moments. but that 450 was the standout, in my opinion.
I think that,
The excitement, if you will.
Yeah, I think that I'm liking J.J. Lawson here. I think he's got a lot of momentum in the Rush division right now, a lot of new blood in the Rush division right now, which is very, very exciting. But JJ's proven himself to be quite capable, and to be really, the excitement is a fantastic name for him, because he brings the excitement. He brings he's having fun when he's wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's infectious.
It is.
So I'm really liking him right now. I'm really liking him as a Rush division standout. I'm really liking his momentum, and I would love to see him get a title shot, or get the title, I guess, because this will be...
Boy, that would be something.
This will be, whoever walks away from this match will be the new title holder.
Yeah. That would be the excitement, all right.
I'm also looking at guys like Jake Painter.
Yeah. Who had a heck of a week last week.
Yeah. I'm looking
or the week before, whenever it was.
Looking at guys like J.J. Lawson, looking at guys like Jake Painter, guys that have been consistent, guys that are going to be able to rise to the challenge, and going to be able to keep their head screwed on straight in a ladder match with, several other competitors.
Yeah.
So, who do you like? Who are you liking over in the Rush division?
I mean, we've already talked about how we both feel like J.J. Lawson has really hit the ground running. Like you said, Jake Painter has really stepped up his game here as of late. But you've also got, who else do you have? You've got Maximo Suave. This is his type of match for sure. You've got Hoda Peso. Who else do we have?
In the Rush division? I mean,
that would fall into this match.
You can see guys like Star Player Prime of the Rush division.
Showtime Shanklin, Iceman Justice Davis.
Yeah.
It's a who's who, really. I mean, it is an embarrassment of riches.
Guys like Parker Lee.
Yeah, he would be a good one,
I think you'll probably see guys like Thomas Heim.
Yeah.
Some relative newcomers like that to kind of flesh out the...
Do you think any of the Doom Squad will be part of this?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Icon will be there.
Obsidian Angel and or Icon Lee are in this match, and they happen to win. Do you see a repeat where the title is handed back over to Star Rider, and the cycle repeats again?
I mean, that seems to be their MO. They are quite
gonna run it back
in unison, like over there, right? Even last week, they couldn't. They tried to pin
together,
and
that's not how this works.
So I do think that is a. I do think that there is potential for that, but unlike what we saw with them last week, the Obsidian Angel and Icon Lee, unlike what we saw from them last week, this isn't going to be a 2-on-1. This is going to be a 2 versus 10, 8, 6. Because everyone in there is going to know these guys are coming in. They're going to know the game that they play. They're going to know that they're tag team essentially working in a singles match, and they're going to get neutralized. Because everyone there is going to know who they are, what they're there for. And they're going to be, honestly, damned if they let the Doom Syndicate walk away with the championship again after seeing what they did with it the first time.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
People just are, I don't think that any competitor in that ring is going to let that happen.
No.
All right, then we have an extensive also appearing. Let me run through these for you. That includes Eric Surge, Sophia Rose, Cash Daniel, Jack Vaughn, Donovan Cecil, Tony Evans, Katie Gannon, the Trifecta, and Freya the Slayer.
Wow.
So what kind of business do you think we're getting out of that?
This will be a stacked episode. I hope we see more from the veteran Jack Vaughn and the Mammoth.
I think it's a strong possibility of that. I think we're probably getting that at the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. But do you think we'll see more board games?
No, it's time for violence, man.
Think so?
Yeah,
time for violence.
It is a wrestling show.
Well,
Brian, who did you think was? Did you give me a prime target for the Rush division? I was pulling things up.
I agree. I think it's J.J. Lawson's night.
Oh, okay. A consensus prediction. You love that.
So, what I would like to see, want to see the Trifecta come out and celebrate the fact that they all three have belts. Want to see promo from those guys. Want to see what's next on the horizon. I want some indication of what's next on the horizon for the tag team titles and for the media championship.
Who's going to come out and break that up? Because if that's what happens and they come out to celebrate their victories, somebody's going to come out and have something to say about it.
Absolutely. But that is the big question. So I don't really have a great guess for the future of of these
Lawless
guys.
Cream.
I don't know.
Is that an official name?
No.
Okay.
I would hope not.
Here's what I think will happen. We'll see them, whether it's in ring congratulating themselves on having the tag team titles and the media championship, or we'll see a backstage segment. I smell a 6-man tag match between the trifecta, Anthony Toatelli, and Lawless and Lush.
I love where your head's at, baby.
Lawless
I love
and Lush,
it.
Who's their third person?
Toatelli.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got about as close, I think, as you possibly can on that. I love where your head's at on that.
I mean, I like it, but
oh well. Another thing is, I think that this is going to be a week where we figure out if Cash Daniel is wheat or if Cash Daniel is chaff. He's in his own head after losing to Revolver.
Do you think we'll get a rubber match, a third match between those two?
I don't know that Revolver has any reason to take the match.
He doesn't.
I mean, I really don't.
If he were to take it, I think he would do it to beat him out of spite at this point.
Yeah,
because the first time he looked surprised. The second time, the look on his face after he won, that was a smirk. And now I think if they were to run it back and do it a third time, he'd just be playing with him.
I saw The Hustler over the past couple of days. And
nice.
You were almost exactly describing something that happened in The Hustler. The older veteran keeps his head on straight, knows the right time to capitalize on the young, talented guy. You're very much describing the plot of that movie right now.
Wow, I've never seen that movie, but
totally worth it.
I will now.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a little bit of what we know about Hard Reset.
Well, I just want to say one thing. We got to figure out if Cash Daniel coming in with his head screwed on straight. That's the big question on my mind right now about Cash Daniel is, are you gonna let Adam Revolver beat you twice, or are you gonna let Adam Revolver beat you, every match that you have from now on, and because you're so in your mind, because you're so in your head that you can't put together a victory over anybody else.
You know who else is in Cash Daniel's head? Adam Revolver.
Mm-hmm.
And if you beat Cash Daniel there, you can beat him every single time. It doesn't matter where you wrestle or when, you can find a way to do it.
Yeah, we in basketball, we are in the land of college basketball.
True.
We like to say things like when the team's momentum gets shaken and there's like a really bad loss and then they come out flat on the next game, we say, oh, well, so-and-so beat us twice.
Yeah, turn one loss into two.
Yeah, and I think that's where Cash is at right now. That's where Cash is at right now. Is he going to allow Adam Revolver to continue to beat him mentally when he's not even wrestling him?
So what do y'all think? Chapman?
About
is Cash going to be able to get it out of his head, or is he still going to be in his own head?
He's a very emotional guy. He's a very, very passionate guy. And sometimes when you are that passionate and you do care that much, it can be really, really, really hard to pull yourself out of a funk. The only person who has that answer ultimately is Cash Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Kentucky boy, and he's a Kentucky boy, and he was like the coolest when he was in sports here, and he's still like the coolest at OVW, right? But so I want to admit that I might be a little biased when I say yes, I think that he's gonna be on top of his game, but he's the only person with that answer ultimately.
Brian, you let's get a Buckeye perspective.
I think he'll be fired up.
Okay. So
if we actually see a match from him, I don't think it'll be Adam Revolver, but I do believe that the two matches that we've seen so far are the setup for a feud, a preface, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him coming out, having a match, just completely destroying whoever it is.
And then we get Revolver.
And then we get Revolver to come out to talk some smack.
I love it.
Which would be a great match for Hard Reset.
Yeah, could potentially see that one at the pay-per-view.
All right, so let's go into what I think I've got everything we know about Hard Reset.
Let's do it.
First, we have the Champions versus Champions match, picking OVW U.S. Champion Eric Surge versus OVW Heavyweight Champion Mount Kadeem.
Reinforce the ring that night.
Reinforce the walls and the ceiling and maybe the river levees.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
This is a tough one, man, because Kadeem has had a great championship run so far. Been unbeatable. I've seen sides of him that I never thought existed inside of Mount Kadeem, right? Eric Surge is right there underneath some very, very lauded and vaunted names in OVW. In terms of
phenomenal year.
A phenomenal year, right. He's right underneath being mentioned in the same conversation with guys like Cashflow, guys like Cal Hero, guys like Dustin Jackson.
In 5 months.
Guys like Sophia Rose, right? Very, very close to being interested in that conversation. This is the match that could potentially put it over the top for him, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. Because Kadeem doesn't come solo.
They never do.
Hell, Kadeem's almost his own backup
It's going
at that size.
It's going to be a question for me of how bad does Kadeem want it? Is he comfortable right now? Did he forget how to scrap? Did he forget how to fight? Did he forget what it's like to be on the bottom? Right? Because he's been on top for a long, long, long time.
Almost a year now.
Eric Surge still got a little bit more. He's not as far removed from having to scrap and survive, right?
Yeah.
He's still got a dog in him, right? Kadeem, I think he might be a little more comfortable right now, living that high roller lifestyle, right?
We've certainly seen him in suits more than
Wrestling gear.
than wrestling gear for a while.
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard. It's hard because you never want to say that a champion is taking his eyes off of the prize. You never want to say that he's not paying attention to the ball.
Unless he's not.
But, you know, there's an argument to be made that Kadeem has lived a little bit more luxuriously in his time as champion, really enjoying the perks of, like, the winner's purse and whatnot.
Sure.
I think Eric Surge is going to come out hungrier. I think Eric Surge is going to come out scrappier. I think Eric Surge is going to retain, ultimately.
All right. Brian, what do you think?
Well, those are good points about Mount Kadeem. I wouldn't say that he's taken his eyes off the prize, but there does seem to be a level of comfort in that swagger as he makes his way to the ring and gets the microphone and addresses the OVW crowd. Eric Surge coming in with all the energy in the world, all the what's the word I'm looking for?
Momentum.
Yes, that's it. The momentum. Thank you. I got to go with Surge this time.
Yep. I'm not a predictor, but if I was,
Even
I
if
would
there is
probably
outside
join you guys.
interference.
Well, yeah, you got to that's part of the thing these days is you got to overcome all that nonsense.
Well, sure. We shall overcome.
Let's move on to a women's championship match showing Freya the Slayer finally getting her championship match shot over one Sophia Rose.
And rightly so.
Brian, what do you think of this?
As much as I love Sophia Rose, and we've said time after time that this is the year of the Rose, I'm not so sure that this is going to be her night. I mean, we're seeing a side of Freya that we haven't seen before. We're seeing some aggression that we've not previously encountered. Just mowing through people left and right, and I feel like she's got the momentum in this case. It will be a valiant effort, but I think that it's going to be Freya's night. To take nothing away from Sophia Rose, who is an outstanding women's champion.
No notes on me on that one, Brian Hines. Freya the Slayer has time and time again kind of prevented herself from capitalizing on huge moments.
Yes.
We saw it with J-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Saw it with J-Rod a couple of times.
Yeah.
I want to say, from the way that she wrestled last week, that's probably gone.
Yep.
That inability to make the right decision in the moment or to get caught up in the moment is probably gone. The only thing on her mind is winning, is gaining the championship, is being the women's champion. I just don't think she's going to make those same mistakes like she made against J-Rod. And I just think, I mean, right now, there's no, back to the conversation about who's hungry, who's not. There's nobody hungrier than Freya Slee.
Nope.
No.
So
That woman is starving.
I'm going with Freya.
Yeah. All right.
Hate to say it, it does not. I do not relish saying it. But
Let's get into the tag team Cal's career versus 5 minutes with Doug match. Feat with Cal Hero, who we now know will be teaming with.
This is an interesting development. I didn't see
Bad
coming.
Daddy Billy Gunn.
No.
No, well, whatever. Billy Gunn. Badass Billy Gunn is what I know him as. And if you don't like that, I've got 2 words for you.
You ever seen that clip when they're in Indiana and they come out in the UK shirts?
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
I
Nice.
love that because I like UK. Jackman, what do you got?
Well, I mean, first off, Billy Gunn looks fantastic.
Yeah, we've covered that.
It's tough, right? Predictions are tough in general. Every time we have to come in here and do this, and you have to look at all of the potential outcomes and everything that's gone into it, and it's tough. It's tough to sit in here and do it, right? No more so than when you're in a situation like this, where you automatically want to say, oh, yeah, I know that Cal's going to win because Billy Gunn is a great wrestler and a great tag team partner. And I also really, really, really want to see Cal get his hands on Doug Basham, right? It's easy to sit and say that. But let's look at it more logically. Cal Hero and Billy Gunn are going to have exactly one match to prepare as a tag team. Exactly one match to prepare as a tag team. Tony Gunn and Crixus been boys for over a year now. Been tagging several times. Been in each other's corner. That same chemistry doesn't exist between Cal Hero and Billy Gunn. That's big. Tag team wrestling is you're a team. You're a team. And I mean, Billy Gunn, one of the great tag team artists of his time. Truly. Still to this day, a great tag team artist. But is the chemistry going to be there? Is Billy Gunn with 40 years basically experience in this industry going to be able to look at Cal Hero as an equal and say, and not just completely take over the match? Oh, hey kid, listen to me. I've been here before. I know what to do. And this version of Cal Hero, for what it's worth,
ain't having it.
Probably ain't gonna have it.
No.
Probably ain't gonna have it. The only person who's giving Cal Hero advice, telling Cal Hero what to do, is in the 13th dimension somewhere. Jamin Olivencia.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think that this could be. I think the Revolution could run and steal this one. I want to be completely 100% clear.
Are you predicting it?
Yeah.
All right, big
Wow.
move. Cal Hero out of OVW. That's the headline from one Jackman Oaks.
Yeah.
Brian, do you endorse his headline?
I disagree. I mean, those are good points. Crixus and Tony Gunn have been working together as members of the Revolution and as a team for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
They're very familiar with their strengths and weaknesses. They're both individually knowledgeable of Cal.
Right.
But I feel like maybe they're not so knowledgeable about Billy Gunn, whatever moniker he's going by these days, or whatever you choose to refer to him as. I think that's the X factor, the DX factor. There you go.
Ooh,
Nice.
look at
Nice.
that.
Very nice.
I'm going with Billy Gunn, Cal Hero. I think that Billy Gunn's had enough experience to be able to look out for any sort of distractions that the Revolution might bring to this match.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Cal Hero going anywhere. but up.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys, this is
Hey,
the
you're on
last
fire tonight, baby.
last
I
one
don't
that I
play.
know of for Hard Reset. I'm going to give it to you guys, and then I'm going to actually slip out early from the break because I have to pee really bad.
You had to announce that?
I did. Well,
Well,
I'm not going
Vincent,
to be here.
that was a little bit more information than I needed to know, but you go right
Major
ahead.
deduction.
All right, so let's get into the Wildcat Wild Card Joker's Wild Card match featuring Star Rider and Super Z. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, we know nothing about it other than it's not happening in Davis Arena. Right. I mean,
We're sure on that?
yes, they on last week's episode said it will be off premise.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I just happened to catch it. That's all.
Yeah.
The
Good for you. Thank you.
That means anything could happen.
Yes.
Like the potential of this match is wide open. I think it's gonna be weird. I think we're gonna see some weird stuff.
I can't wait.
This version of Star Rider is a little weirdo, man. He's a little sadistic and he's a little terrifying. So
The storytelling has been phenomenal.
in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that it's created so many other things around it. Not only are we getting this match between Star Rider and Super Z, we're also, because of fallout from Star Rider and Evil Z or Super Z's feud, we're also getting that ladder match that we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all connected, right? And these two guys just don't like each other. These two guys straight up just don't like each other.
No.
It's not going to be about a belt. It's not going to be about a title. It's not going to be about anything other than
Honor and respect.
and getting the W.
Yep.
Having said all that, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be bizarre. It's going to be strange. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
It's going to be literally something that none of us have ever seen before. So that's about that. So I guess we have one more segment to do. We'll go ahead and take our final break. By that time, Tiny Brian will hopefully be back from his trip to the restroom, and we will go through the chat and get all of your questions and comments and funny stuff.
There's
that
a lot
you
of 'em.
said. I'm glad. I'm very, very excited. Very excited to.
We could talk for days.
To sit down with the chat tonight in the final segment of the show. So we will be back right after this.
Hey guys, Maisie Maria here, and
Maximo Suave.
two of the OVW podcast most favorite supporters, and we just wanted to wish you guys, happy 100th episode. We are incredibly sorry that we could not be there. As you can tell, we're in my office. We are stuck at work. I'm going to be here.
It's not a ring.
It is not a ring. I'm going to be here all freaking night tonight. This jabron has to go wrestle on a show. So we wish we could be there with you guys. But you know what? Here's to another 100.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
This week, hopefully we'll have this all straightened out.
Fanzone.
Get your tickets.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling, the OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
I'm Nick, and I'm in the OVW Fanzone.
Yeah.
I'm Lena Feist, and I'm in the OVW Fanzone.
Welcome back. Final segment, OVW Fanzone Live. This is where fans talk back, and this is the segment they do it in. My name's Jack Oaks.
I'm Brian Hines. Let's get to it.
All right. What do we got in the chat, Tiny Brian? Pop in chat tonight. Love to see it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes. Before we get into that, real quickly, who did you guys pick, Super Z or Star Rider?
We just said that we have no idea what to expect. Honestly,
Expect the unexpected.
It's an impossible thing to predict when we have no idea what it's going to look like.
Very true.
I predict we will be entertained and shocked and surprised.
I'll second that. Noelle Summit, who is new to the chat tonight. Welcome. Noelle.
Welcome. Thanks for sticking
That
around.
is the
with
marionette Noelle.
Mm-hmm. She asked I assume she asked what is your favorite horror movie?
I got a weird one. In all honesty, well, if we're going American, if we're going like American classics, Halloween, it's the best one. I don't want to hear. There's no fun. No, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Halloween's the best one. If we're going, if we're going in the wider world of film, my favorite one is a '80s film by Dario Argento called Tenebrae. It's originally Italian, but there's English dubs of it. Very easy to find on the internet. Tenebrae is how you spell it, and it is a fantastic movie.
Interesting. I don't know if I have a favorite horror movie. A couple come to mind from when I was growing up. A Creepshow really kind of got to me.
That's a good Creepshow's great.
I mean, the iconic horror personalities. You've got Freddy. You've got Jason. Michael Myers.
I'm pretty fond of The Cabin by the Lake myself, if you've ever seen that.
I have not. I could tell you my least favorite horror movie. I'll do it off camera, but yeah.
Well, now everybody will wonder.
Oh, okay. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert! It's my wedding video.
Oh,
yeah.
take his ex-wife, please. All right, Roy Bischoff. When we were discussing, hey Roy, when we were discussing the big announcement at the top of Rise tomorrow, he says, "What if it's Wrestlers season 2?"
Oh, I would absolutely love that.
That's a great prediction. That's a great prediction.
I hope that's it.
So, like, the film studio that did the documentary crew, I guess I should say, that did Wrestlers season 1 were British, right?
Yes, they were.
And I think that
they were from the BBC. They had BBC equipment.
Yeah, so I want to say that Wrestlers
Bacon, beef, and cheddar
probably aired on BBC if it was produced by the BBC. I mean, that's how things go. So it could, maybe there's a little bit more meat on the bone for a BBC audience now that Haverfordwest is associated with OVW. I do not know. We do not know anything.
Purely speculatory.
But, the Haverfordwest phenomenon is one that is pretty widely observed in European sports and in, the world of football. And I think that, maybe trying to see if that same leadership group can be effective in a totally different thing. There's a lot of meat on the bone documentary style-wise there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Matt kind of swims in the background, but you've got a new potential, kind of opposing the Wrestlers and a new take on it. No, there's lots of story beats to be mined.
And lots of new faces. Lots of new faces. Lots of things have changed. I mean, Cash Flow being on Tulsa King in and of itself is... Well, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a direct product of Wrestlers on Netflix as well.
Correct,
so
yes.
A lot of meat on the bone. A lot of things have changed. A lot of new faces. A lot of old favorites. Could very well be that. Love where your head's at, Roy.
On the subject of horror movies, JJ says they like Daryl and Tucker versus Evil.
That's a good one. I've seen that. Saw that a few years ago.
I'll have to ask my son what his is because he's a big horror fan.
On Netflix.
Wrestling's biggest fan.
WBF.
One of our favorite. Was a little confused about where to get the pay-per-view for a minute, but then he figured it out on his own. But I still think it's worth mentioning that you can go there and pick those up. I think they're back to doing the private YouTube link rather than having to go through Triller TV for all that. So at least the last time I had to buy the pay-per-view, that's the way it was again. And the time before that had been Triller. So I don't know anything. I just think it is. I think they're back to the YouTube link because that is a much better system for pay-per-view purchasing.
It is makes it so much easier.
It certainly does. All right, we're winding down here. Why don't we get to the calendar?
We don't have anybody else in the chat.
Oh, I mean, they've all been kind of talking to themselves and not really asking questions this week.
That's good. We love to
Talk
see
amongst yourselves.
We love to see a healthy chat. Thank you guys for sticking with us this evening.
And we have a healthy calendar this week because tomorrow.
See?
What? Yeah.
There's a healthy calendar.
There
right
is,
there.
in fact, a healthy calendar with one Roddy Piper on it, who's also in action figure form and in T-shirt form.
I'm fired up.
He's everywhere today for some reason. Tomorrow, 6:15 p.m., 4400 Shepherdsville Road. It is OVW Live. 6:30, you can see the up-and-comers in OVW Overdrive. Eventually, you'll see that on Tuesday at 7 p.m., live on YouTube, live on Triller, live all over the world. It is OVW Rise, 2 hours of nonstop action. Then, Friday the 13th in LaPorte, Indiana, they're going to be having a house show with OVW. Billy Gunn is scheduled to appear at that event. So if he's your guy, that's a place to go to see him a bonus time this weekend. Saturday night, we are back at Hot Point Davids Arena for the Saturday night special OVW Hard Reset. We've been talking about it all night. Be there live if you can't. It's going to sell out, folks. Get your tickets now at OVWTix.com. If you can't, get your pay-per-view stream at OVWTix.com. Same website, works for both things. Tuesday, OVW Overdrive is back at 7 p.m. right here on the OVW YouTube channel. That is hosted by two of our favorite people. One, Jessica White, right? And one lovely Linda Kay.
Yeah, they're drinking over there. They're having
Marking
a good time.
it up.
Yeah, they were
Good for
having
you.
margaritas just last night. We are jealous. Maybe we should send them some bourbon or something. You know, a little show to show, just a little extended of courtesy.
Like a congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We could do that.
I said it last week. I think it bears repeating. This is a wrestling show hosted by two women. Who else is doing that?
And it's not WOW.
Right. Who else? And they don't even have women host that show. So who else is doing that in 2025 in the world of wrestling? You know, OVW.
Another innovation from Ohio Valley Wrestling.
And that's awesome.
This time, in 6 days, 23 hours, we will be right back here for OVW Fanzone Live, where fans talk back. Also, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be live for the OVW podcast over on our YouTube channel at OVW Podcast. Switch right over there as soon as we're done. Catch all the action from last week's Rise.
Yeah, that's a bumpy ride, guys, but we appreciate it if you listen. I guess without further ado, for all of us here at the OVW Podcast, the OVW Fanzone Live, my name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
For Malachi P.S. Woodard, for Tiny Brian K. Woodard, for Victor Anderson, for all of us from the